The amazing people at Titan Magazine sent me a copy of Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi, the 40th Anniversary Special Edition. This hardcover look back at the original trilogy briefly covers the first two movies before dissecting what it took to make the movie that would tie it all together in 1983. 1977 Star Wars was a monster hit. It still influences new generations of fans all these decades later. The only question on moviegoers' minds in the era was that a fluke? George Lucas answered that question in 1980 with The Empire Strikes Back. Empire's a sequel that added so much to the brand. It took audiences in many bold new directions. It offered new locations, new heroes, new villains, and even more refined cutting-edge special effects. The revelation of Vader being Luke's father floored audiences in a world where something like that could still be kept a secret. Where New Hope ended with some finality on the story, Empire was a big-time cliffhanger, and a unique one for a space fantasy serial. The good guys did not win. Lucas and his team went to work on Return of the Jedi almost immediately after Empire. Titled for a long time as Revenge of the Jedi, this movie wasn't just important to conclude the original Star Wars trilogy, it was made to cement Lucasfilm and Industrial Light and Magic as key players in the movie business. The beautiful high-gloss pages of this 40th anniversary look back do the job of breaking down the making of Jedi by major events rather than following it chronologically. These events were major to the movie, but were also major for the people working behind the scenes to tackle. From writing and pre-production to creating the iconic Jabba the Hutt, to the difficulties of selling Ewoks, called Ewax for a while. The Ewok section in particular put to bed rumors that I had heard ever since the early 90s involving Wookiees. The answer is not what I expected it to be. The article-style write-ups on each topic deliver facts and tidbits even a Star Wars fan who's been obsessed with the galaxy for over 30 years hadn't heard before. This information comes in the form of interviews, notes, and reports from people who were actually on the ground bringing the movie to life. Along with the words are a slew of gorgeous images. The pictures used throughout the book range from stills from the movie, comparisons of the different release editions, behind the scenes, and shots pre-special effects. Of course, there is also a ton of amazing concept art. Seeing so much behind the scenes on the franchise has never diminished the magic of it. These peeks into movie-making history actually add to the magic for me. In the prequel movies, seeing actors on the blue screen compared to what the final result ended up being was impressive, but very much understandable to our computer-centric world. Lucas was, as always, pushing the boundaries of technology, but words like computer animation or the abbreviation CGI explain most of it away where common people can understand. In 1983, computer animation was in its infancy, and many practical effects were still used. That is some serious movie magic. Throughout the book, I was excited to hear reasons why certain elements were dropped to be restored later in the special edition re-release. Being born in '85, I missed the original theatrical runs of all the movies. I got to experience them for the first time in the theater as the special editions, so the changes never bothered me as much as they do some Star Wars fans. Getting more insight into these from the mind of Lucas himself was great. There are documentaries along with these re-releases that cover a lot of it, but there's new information to be gleaned in these pages. One answer not found in the book that I would like to hear is Lucas's take on casting Sebastian Shaw to play the unmasked Anakin Skywalker. There's a documentary floating around out there called I Am Your Father that takes this issue on from the point of view of David Prowse, the man who donned the suit throughout the original trilogy. Prowse was apparently under the impression he would be able to show his face in the end before a new actor was brought in. Shaw was brought in extreme secrecy for the scene where they would take off Darth Vader's mask, a reveal that was almost as impactful as I Am Your Father. That was a bit of a tangent, but the book does cover Shaw's accounts and Shaw's involvement in the movie. The book concludes, appropriately so, at the ongoing legacy of Return of the Jedi. This is a brief section as the legacy is ongoing and will outlast any of our lifetimes. If it isn't clear by now, I had a great time with this book. Single issue I found with this book was a surprising amount of typos or editorial issues. These small blips didn't affect my overall enjoyment of the content. I did receive a promotional early copy of the book, so maybe that final pass wasn't completed yet. Either way, I wouldn't let that stop me from enjoying it. It's a quick read at 127 pages. Many of these pages contain large, high-resolution images. If you like collecting facts, tidbits, and trivia, and hearing the story of how the franchise we all came to love actually got made by the people who made it, you're going to enjoy it too. Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi, the 40th Anniversary Special Edition is available wherever you get your books on May 7th, 2024. Make sure you watch this video next for more Star Wars book coverage.